The biggest problem that people have and why they're unable to grow a 6- and 7-figure business in tandem with their job is purely because they don't have a good system and a process, right? Practice don't make perfect, perfect practice makes perfect, and you have to be practicing the right things if you want to expedite this process and be able to have both businesses running in tandem. Listen, in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to build your real estate business in secret while working in corporate America. All right, now before we get into the video, let me qualify this, all right? I worked in corporate America for almost 12 years myself, and guess what I did? I built a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio in secret while working in corporate America, and I'm gonna tell you how to do the same because I know many of you out there, one of your biggest concerns in senior management or as an executive, what if I get found out, right? This is your bread and butter. You're making 6 figures plus a year. You know, it's seemingly the best vehicle to take care of your family. However, you still realize that you need more. Over 50% of Americans who make over $100,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. Now that's probably not you, but it is showing that as we make more money, our lifestyle enhances, right? We have lifestyle creep. So there is a need for us to create additional streams of revenue while we're at work. The unfortunate part about that is most people take the traditional route and the only other investments that they do is into their 401k, IRA, etc., which I got a whole nother theory about that, but let's just say that that's not enough, okay? Number one, you can't access that money or shouldn't access that money for, until you hit retirement age. But more importantly, that doesn't fix your immediate problem today, which is to earn more money outside of work. With all that being said, there's a way to do it, all right? There's a way to do it. There's a way to go out and build your real estate business in tandem with working in corporate America while not having your employer find out, all right? Now I need y'all to watch to the end of this video because I'm gonna give you 3 key things that you have to do if you wanna be successful at doing this. Again, I did it myself. I was able to retire myself from corporate America by the age of 35. I own over 100 apartment units. I've done over 100 fix and flipping wholesale deals. And a lot of my body of work happened while I was still in corporate America, all right? Now, number 1, don't tell anybody. Right? That's the first secret, is not to tell anybody. Now I'm gonna tell you, I broke my own rule. I'm hard-headed, my wife get on me about it all the time. I'm just an open book, and those around me, I thought other people want to get freed like I wanted to get freed, and unfortunately that wasn't the truth, right? But I will say this, I had a different outlook because while I was respectful of the fact that, I didn't want it broadcast throughout, the organization, I was also sensitive to the fact that some of these people could be potential investors for me. We take for granted that those in our immediate sphere of influence couldn't actually help us to go and build the thing that we want to build. Now I can tell you this, after going through that experience, I was wrong. Those people were not my potential investors, and particularly because when you're an entrepreneur or you're entrepreneurial minded, you have to be sensitive to the fact that when you work in corporate America, it's sheep being led to slaughter, right? And I know that's probably pretty extreme of an analogy, but I'm saying that most people follow the masses. So you have to understand that when you are thinking entrepreneurial in that way, you may hear guys having cooler talk about making more money, but people really don't think about a true exit strategy on how I could walk away from a 6-figure job as I did and as you aspire to do. They don't think about it in that way. And so when you start to have conversation with people and think that they can be an ally and maybe you guys can build together, they don't want to do anything to jeopardize or compromise their ability to stay gainfully employed at that place. They won't tell you that, but most people are cowards, and it's just the truth of it. The first thing is not to tell anybody. You don't want to tell anybody. You want to build in silence, and it's going to better serve you, okay? Because you don't want people running to upper management and telling them about your endeavors prematurely. And if you aren't ready for that exit, they expedite it in any way. It's unfortunate that the corporate system is even set up that way. Those of us that have aspirations far beyond those 4 walls could be penalized to a point of almost losing our job, although the things that we're doing aren't impacting the contribution that we're making to that employer. It's just unfortunate, but that's the way of the world. So the first thing I would recommend is just not to tell anybody, okay? Number 2, the other piece that I see people struggle with, okay? And I didn't have this struggle, but I see others who have done it. We have students in our program that's even retired before me at the age of 30. They struggle with trying to figure out if they have enough time. So typically when you're a high income earner in the corporate setting, the more money you make, the less time you have, right? For me, I was in senior management. In addition to the 8 to 10 hours that I was there, more often than not 10, I had an hour commute as well. So I was giving my employer probably, close to 60 hours a week if you looked at all of the effort that went into it, not only while I was there, but the transit to get there as well. Most would say, well, if I'm giving 60 hours a week and I'm on call, right? You a senior manager, executive, you get it, like you're always on call. Like, where do I find that time? Well, the truth of the matter is it's 168 hours in a week. So if 60 of them is committed to your employer, then you got 100 more of them that you could do something with. Right now, I know some of that probably includes tea time and hanging out at games and going to the bar and happy hour and vacation and all those things we do to distract ourselves from the reality of this environment that we're in. You're gonna have to compromise some of that, and you gotta do two things. One is you gotta go find a system that works for you. People fail because of a bunch of random activity. So it's very hard to make the highest and best use of the remaining time that you have left, in addition to the 60 that you're expending at this job, because you don't have a good system. So one of the things that served me was I finally went out, made an investment in myself, got a mentor, and I learned systemically how I could set my business up, my real estate business, in tandem with the current demands on me at the employer. So you want to get a system, because what we do when we help our students is we show them how they can take 10 to 12 hours a week. That's like an hour and a half a day, right? Cumulatively 10 to 12 hours a week, and go out and build a 6 to 7 figure real estate business in 12 months, okay? You can absolutely do it, but you just gotta know what things you should be working on and at what times you should work on them. Now, fortunately for you, if you're in an environment where you got access to a laptop and internet and nobody's just over your shoulder all day, you can get on that laptop even during work hours, don't tell nobody, and start to actually look at deals and submit offers and follow up on deals and things of that nature. The biggest thing that you have to do, start the momentum, right? So you may take early morning to evaluate properties after your agent or whatever other lead source that you have sending you properties. You evaluate these properties in the morning, you submit your offers, then by lunchtime or whenever other time that you get to get on the internet, you can start looking for the feedback, right? The agent said this, the agent said that. Maybe they need you to e-sign some documents, and that's the beautiful part about today. Like when I did it, everything wasn't as digital as it is now. You literally can run your entire business from your phone, from anywhere, right? It's just about making sure that you have a systemic approach to the inputs so that you can get the desired output and not disrupt what you have going on at the workplace. Again, you can evaluate deals in the morning, and then you can start submitting those offers, or if you're someone who works better in the evening, you can do that in the evening. And then that way, when your agent wakes up in the morning, the first thing in their inbox from your late emails is you, right? And then they're working on your stuff and they start to give you that feedback throughout the day. But the biggest problem that people have and why they're unable to grow a 6 and 7 figure business in tandem with their job is purely because they don't have a good system and a process, right? Practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And you have to be practicing the right things if you want to expedite this process and be able to have both businesses running in tandem. Now, as I told you, I recommend to our students 10 to 12 hours a week. Full disclosure, I was doing 30 to 40 hours a week, right? Nothing was more important to me than freeing myself from that environment, leaving my family with a true legacy, because I could never leave my child that job, and really creating a life that I didn't need to escape from. And fortunately, by God's grace and a lot of hard work and doing these things that I'm telling you to do right now, as in going to get a coach, going to get a system, learning how to properly set your business up in tandem with your livelihood, you could do the same thing that I've done. I can tell you that from a full place of confidence, and not only for myself, but watching my students also do that as well. The third thing that you need to do, you need to go do it. You got to stop making the excuse that you can't. Prior to me just sharing with you that you need to go out and get a coach, a mentor, a system, a process, I could absolutely see you feeling that way. But now that you do know what you need to do, you got to go get some framework. You got to go make this investment in yourself and your knowledge so that you can build this thing in secret, in tandem with what you currently got going on. There's still gonna be some resistance, right? You're still gonna have apprehension and doubt. You're still gonna have fear. You're still gonna have concerns. And all of that's valid, but you gotta do it anyway. Because guess what? I had all those same things. And I will tell you this, in full disclosure, my employer did find out probably close to a year before I left. The plant manager, my boss, he came over to me and he said, yeah, I heard you flipping houses outside of here. Is that true? I said, yeah. He said, how's it going? I said, good. He said, well, good for you, because everybody should be doing something outside of here. Now, thank God, although he wasn't necessarily an entrepreneur outside of work, he at least had enough capacity to understand that it's really hard to make it in America with one stream of income, right? It's really financial suicide if you do that, because if anybody was watching during COVID, if and when that employer decide that they don't have a need for you for whatever the reason, it's just over. So then what do? Right? You go home and have those uncomfortable conversations about how you didn't protect your family and set them up for success, regardless of what happens, or you actually do that now, right? So for me, it's a far bigger risk to not do anything than it is to go do something that can further you, whether you have the job or you don't have the job. The choice is yours, but at least you got the input now to go get the desired output. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. All I ask is that you share it with somebody that you love. And I look forward to helping you guys get free out of whatever situation and build the life that you absolutely want and deserve.